Alright. In the top right, Shrinker. Potentially about to be 3-0'd here. As White. And WandS as the yellow Protoss in the top left. Now, I mean, we've seen WandS cheese. Not just in this series, but also at his group stage. WandS just seems to be cheesing a lot. Or not necessarily cheesing, but going D-Web for no other reason than because he can. I mean, it's working for him. He's so far, what, 5-1? He dropped one game to a 2-fact. I mean, I can't, again, argue with him just kind of dicking around, because dicking around is destroying all of his opponents. Alright. So, one gateway down for Shrinker. I'm kind of interested if Shrinker goes 2-gate this time, just in case WandS is cheesing somewhere. Obviously not cheesing in his base, but could be. Both players setting up scouting probes at the same time. Shrinker is going to check the center. Actually, both players are going to check the center and see each other. They should know where their opponents are, but no. WandS, I don't know how WandS wasn't paying attention. Shrinker even hit the probe, so he got the message. But, no, sending his probe, he's going to be sending his probe down. Find nothing. Alright. And in fact, Shrinker's not going to go 2-gate. He's committed to with his assimilator, with his fast core. Solid stuff from him. And WandS also doing the same thing. Alright, and I think Shrinker could have done a little bit better of a job there blocking the probe. But probe gets in for WandS, and Shrinker's probe is still in the base, right? No? Did he lose it? Ooh, he did lose it. A mistake from Shrinker there to allow his scouting probe to go down to just a single zealot. Anyway, so Cybercore's done. WandS, he'd like to keep his probe alive just a little bit longer to see what's the next building placed down. Is it the gateway? Is it the Citadel? Is it the Robo? It's critical if he can, but it becomes very hard once that goon comes out. And he does need to survive a little bit of time when that goon's out to be able to get that information. The probe is gonna see the goon. Can only take 2 more hits from the goon before it goes down. 1 more hit. It's living. It's trying to. And it's doing a very good job of staying alive, but no. It won't be able to in the end. And he won't quite be able to see what Shrinker's next building is, which is going down now. It's a Robo. In fact, Shrinker's throwing it down a little bit late in terms of minerals, so he's just laying until one scouting probe was dead. Sometimes players will do that just because they don't want to reveal anything at all to the scouting probe. You know what? If the scouting probe delays it, even if it doesn't get the scout off on the critical building, it's doing its job in delaying your opponent's attack by that much. Certainly worth the cost of a probe to do that. Another scouting probe from Shrinker. Huh. And another scouting probe from WandS. Yeah, that scouting probe's not gonna be able to get in. Interesting. WandS going one gateway, then core, then Nexus, then Robo. And it looks like Shrinker is continuing with the same kind of... Oh, well, not quite. It's the same kind of build. It's 2 gateways with an observatory, but he's also getting a shuttle. Immediately. He's not getting the support bay yet, so we don't know if Reavers are coming up. Could be for some kind of elevator. And Shrinker's probe going to try to sneak in again. It would really like to see that Nexus, and... oh... The probe can survive 4 Dragoon hits, but only if it has time to recharge 1 shield. And those Dragoons fired just a hair too close to each other to be able to let it get up that 1. I don't know. Well, we can't see now, but I don't think that that probe was quite in vision range of the Nexus. It was very close. Very close, but I don't think it quite was. Alright, we do have a support now. So the shuttle is for a Reaver. Nothing silly like a... excuse me. Nothing silly like an elevator. But Shrinker's on a little bit of a clock here. His opponent does have later everything compared to him. Later observatory, later gateways. But it's not going to take too long for WandS to catch up after going for this very greedy Nexus. I definitely think the right move for Shrinker here is to just pump goons for as much time as you have, which pretty much means get this goon out before that 1 Reaver comes out. I don't think he should wait for a second Reaver. I think he should just go. And he loaded up the Reaver. The shuttle's coming back. Is that... yes, he is going with just 1. Like that decision a lot. And WandS probe will be seeing the move out. Gets killed off, does not see the shuttle. Rather important that WandS doesn't know that the Reaver's coming. Should probably assume there's a Reaver, but it's nice that he doesn't know for sure. Robotic support is done for WandS. WandS' first Reaver's about halfway, and he doesn't have a shuttle, so it does need to walk down. There's a good window here for Shrinker to attack. Even with the shield battery, it won't be enough with proper Reaver micro, and Shrinker really needs to get this Reaver working for him very well. Trying to get the snipes on the shuttle. The shuttle almost goes down. It's only 1 hit away in a very dangerous position, but the Reaver has taken no damage, and WandS has lost significant number of goons trying to get that snipe. Shrinker just needs to play safe with the Reaver, and everything will be going fine for him. That Reaver can do so much damage, and WandS does not have a very high number of goons to try to get snipes off on it. The shield battery is going to be picked off, but it used its energy, so it served its purpose. The Reaver is out for WandS. That's what WandS was waiting for. He was just trying to delay. Now, there is a shuttle for Shrinker. Or there was a shuttle for Shrinker. It might have gone back to pick up... yes, it did go back to pick up a second Reaver. I was going to say, he might be able to win the Reaver duels, as WandS doesn't have a shuttle out. Is WandS going second Reaver? He is going second Reaver before shuttle. So he still won't have micro opportunities, and WandS, he's attacking just before the reinforcements get there. Oh, the Reaver drops. WandS is able to snipe one of Shrinker's Reavers, but another one immediately to take its place. WandS now feeling compelled to pull probes, but he's pulling probes against a Reaver. That's such a dangerous position, but it might be what he needs to do to survive at this point. Reaver shot getting off, doing damage on the Reaver. He's trying to pick off... no, he didn't micro the Reaver correctly. He didn't get that shot off he wanted to. He wanted to shoot and then immediately pick it up, but he got it a little bit too soon, and he took a Reaver shot on the way down. He needs to pick up the Reaver. The Reaver's more important right now, and oh no, Shrinker! Shrinker! Oh! That's what happens when you completely ignore a Reaver. It gets 8 kills and murders you! A lot! So Shrinker can come on here with 4 goons. That does not matter at all to 2 Reavers. 2 Reavers, one of which has full health, and a shuttle. It's just Shrinker can't do anything at this point. And his economy's bad. And he's queuing up probes pretty hard. Actually, how different are the probe saturations? Not that different. Kind of curious now. Whoops. I forget which buttons change. There we go. No. Okay. So actually, they are dead even on probes. Interesting. WandS now just a little bit ahead. But really, the biggest difference here is the Reavers. Shrinker lost 2 Reavers and the shuttle. WandS, while they were later, has lost absolutely nothing to this point. And, oh, the Reavers clump up pretty severely. Or, excuse me, the Dragoons clump up pretty severely for the Reavers. They do manage to pick off the low health one. And now coming in for the snipe, they do manage to pick up the shuttle just before it picks up the Reaver, but it doesn't matter. Shrinker, it cost him a lot of Dragoons, but that was the trade he needed. He needed to trade his Reaver for the shuttle and 2 Reavers. He made it happen. And now he won't die quite yet. But how much longer until WandS gets here with more tech? No. Wow, did he cut? He completely cut Reaver production. Not producing any more Reavers or shuttles. So even when that Reaver comes out, it's not going to be able to help it. And WandS, I would be very cautious about moving in here, because as soon as your opponent gets his Reaver, he's not making a Reaver. Okay, never mind. Yeah, just totally go attack, I guess. I mean, coming across the bridge is still going to be difficult. There are pylons up to guard. Maybe WandS should think about a little bit of a flank here, coming around through the 3rd. Maybe. Might be a good option. Maybe he wants to take the injured Dragoon and put it in the back. Where's this guy? That guy. Yeah, he should also be put in the back. Alright. WandS. It is a very close game at this point. WandS is only up by 5 supply. He does have Templar tech, where Shrinker's Templar tech is almost done. It's a very close game, with WandS having an ever so slight lead at this point. And WandS is going to put a scouting pylon here. Doesn't look like he wants to attack from this direction, but does want to know when Shrinker is thinking about expanding. Or, even better yet, when Shrinker's sending some units down this way and going for a flank on him. Now, WandS does have map control, so it's going to be relatively easy for him to take an expansion at this point. And cutting out a couple of Dragoons to make it happen, not going to be the worst thing in the world. On the other hand, Shrinker's going to have a hard time taking it. Shit. Did I miss a storm drop? I missed the Reaver drop. Balls. Okay. So, Shrinker's made a bunch of speed lots, and we do see speed is done. It's going to be pretty helpful in breaking out against WandS here. Shrinker lost a bunch of probes, but he's not making any more out of his nexuses. I guess he thought he was already a little bit oversaturated. This Dragoon is taking out the pylon. And it looks like, with that pylon taken out, Shrinker is going to actually be the first one to expand. Despite the fact that WandS had a nice, ample opportunity to do so. I mean, he's been decorating this base with little pylons at the driveway. It's kind of like the Protoss version of a gargoyle. I mean, think about it. It looks pretty cool when you're like coming up here and you're surrounded by pylons. It's hype. Alright, so WandS, with a nice healthy core of High Templar, they don't have the energy they had in the game on Jade quite yet, but won't be too long until that happens. Shrinker is almost mined out in his main, which is probably why he felt taking a 3rd was a necessary decision at this time. Oh, DT? There we go, there's DT. Is there an observer here for Shrinker? Oh, yeah, there totally is. That's Shrinker's observer. Oh. And WandS... I don't think WandS realized that the Observer was down here. He thought the Observer was higher up, so he'd be able to run out of vision range. Even so, WandS is going to send his entire army to shut down this expansion. And that's really what he had the option to do. Shrinker, now realizing that, he can't quite come up to attack that army, so he's going to do the next best thing and go for a counterattack. Could try to take out WandS' third, could go for the jugular, but either way needs to come back and defend against WandS' army. WandS' army looks significantly smaller than Shrinker's, despite the fact that he's ahead by 20 supply. In these speed lots, there's nothing to really counter the speed lots. There's no Archons, there's no Reavers. He's going to need some amazing storms at this point to really start to neutralize them, unless he thinks he can just overwhelm with a vast number of goons, which is a little bit unlikely, and it doesn't... No. Well, reinforcements coming in from WandS. WandS has a lot of speed lots of his own. In both cases, we have speed lots in among the goons on both fronts, and now WandS will be pulling back. It looks like Shrinker did lose most of the Zealots, but it's fine, as he was able to kill off WandS' army, closing the supply difference by a little bit, but not by a terrible amount. Those storms. Those... Oh. Shit. Shit. That High Templar was kill number 41 on that Reaver. Like, okay. WandS did pretty bad in that battle, but it doesn't fucking matter now, because he has a 50 supply lead, or a 40 supply lead. Shrinker just needs to attack. It's like he needs to win the game with this attack. Somehow. This is all he has. He can't make any more. He's not mining at all, because there was another storm drop that interrupted the little mining that he had. And here we go. Shrinker's going to be coming over the bridge. Storm opportunities! Oh, the storm opportunities. Storming his own Zealots, but it doesn't matter. GG from Shrinker. And WandS wins very handily, 3-0. I don't think you guys are gonna mind, but I kind of want to see the Scarab that killed 23 probes. That's fine, right? We're just gonna go back into that game. We're gonna ×8 it up. I'm gonna totally use my newfound hotkeys to make it go ×8. Oh yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna go ×16. Okay. Damn. Like, everything was going so well for Shrinker, and then Reaver her ass. Man, if WandS had that Reaver in the battle, it still wouldn't have been that effective for him. It would have been something that could have dealt with the Zealots, but it was so out in the open that the Reaver was going to have a hard time doing anything. Alright, speed it up again. I'd hate to miss it the second time around. I should probably just be focusing here. Oh, okay, there goes 8. Okay, so he needs to come up here and then take that out, and then, okay. Now we slow down. Oh. That's pretty brutal. I meant to slow down faster. But yeah, still 29. Ugh.